Hi, welcome back. It's Sherry, and this is in Sherry's opinion. This video is going to be a little longer, and it's going to be very sensitive. So trigger warning. I was wanting to do this earlier, and this one is about the Roe versus Wade being overturned. And I wanted to take you back to 1981. In January of 1981, I was 14 years old, and I was 3 months pregnant. My mother took me to a clinic to make sure that I was pregnant, which I was. I knew I was. And I was 3 months pregnant. I got pregnant in October of 1980. And they wanted me to get an abortion. My parents wanted me to, and the doctors or nurses, they tried and tried and tried to talk me into it because I was so young. And I didn't do it. I've never had one. I am pro-life, but I am also, I don't believe that anyone, especially the government, has the right to tell somebody what to do with their body. They don't live our lives. They haven't walked in our shoes, and they shouldn't judge us for what we do. However, I don't feel that it should be used as a form of birth control. Birth control is readily available. Even teenagers can get free condoms. There are so many different types of birth control out there that can be used. And if someone is ARD or gets pregnant because of family reasons, those are good reasons to get an abortion. It's just like, I don't feel like it's right for the government to try to force someone to get vaccinated. That's not right. This is the United States. We're free to make our own choices. Or at least we used to be. And we need to fight to keep our rights. I did a lot of digging, a lot of research. I heard a lot of stories and seen the procedures done on actual people. And I went down a rabbit hole, of course, of there was a senator or governor or somebody at the Senate, and he said that a doctor takes an oath to do no harm. But what are they doing when they do abortions? Because it not only takes the life of a baby, but it does do mental damage to a woman. And sometimes she can't even have kids afterwards. So a lot of times they don't know what they're talking about. But this rabbit hole sent me through a lot of things that I'm going to do another video on. But I learned about Margaret Sanger, and she was trying to wipe out the African American population. I didn't know that. Roe versus Wade went into law January 22nd, 1973. I was born in 1966. And when my mom got pregnant with me, my dad wanted her to get an abortion. That would have been an illegal abortion, which could have killed my mother. In 2014, there were 9.5 million abortions done and $1.3 billion raised through abortion. Late-term abortions definitely should be illegal. There are babies being aborted when the mother is in labor, full term. They say they don't, but they do. Just like Oklahoma, it's illegal to do abortions here. They don't do them at all here. But yet, in 1981, they were doing them because I was seeing this. I was in an abortion clinic in 1981. I would see these girls come out and get in a reclining chair and stay there for, I don't know how long, for recovery. So it does happen. They do a lot of lying about it. And I did find a lady. Her name is Abby Johnson, and she worked at an abortion clinic. She was a bigwig in an abortion clinic. And she said she never really realized until she seen one being done. And there is a hotline number, and you can also text her. And I will put the information in the description of the video, so anybody that wants to contact her can. She doesn't do that anymore. She actually has turned her life over to God. But this learning about abortions sent me down another rabbit hole of other controversial things. Like, doctors are supposed to do no harm, but yet they do, because there's people who are addicted to plastic surgery. and they get plastic surgery and plastic surgery, and these doctors just keep doing it. Instead of getting these people some mental health counseling, something, they are continually giving plastic surgery. They are allowing children to change their genders before they even hit puberty. Before they even have a chance to really know who they are. Now, some do. Some kids, you could just tell, you know, that it's just who they are. But there are some people who's had it done and regret it and want to go back, and they can't. And then what choice do they have? They're still depressed. Doctors are doing things to us, for us, against better judgment. A lot of times. And I will just go ahead and make this video a little longer, because this is really important to me. When we have a fur baby and it's time for them to go because they can't hold themselves up and walk anymore, they can't hold their food, they can't run and play, they can't control their bowels or their bladder, they're losing all their teeth, they are miserable. So we need to put them down, put them out of their misery, right? Even though we hate to do it, I've had to do this to some of my animals, and I cry like a baby. But I've had to do it because I got to the point where I prayed and I said, I don't want to be selfish keeping my dog alive when it's miserable as hell and it's hurting, it's in pain constantly. How fair is that? You know, and I prayed, God, please take them in their sleep. Please take them in their sleep. Because I didn't want to be the one to put them down. But I had to. Because it was my love for them. And I stayed with them the whole time. And I don't wish that on anybody. And that's the worst thing about having pets, is because they get older or they get sick, and then we have to make that hard decision. And it's the same way with people. We have to decide when it's time to take them off of life support. And that is my second video. That is now this video. Because you have to live in certain states to be able to receive the right to die. And if someone is suffering and they're dying and they're in pain and there is no hope, let them choose when it's time to die. Let them choose to die with dignity. and grace. Let them have all their family with them. I've seen it done. I have watched the videos. I have seen it done. I have listened to the doctors. And, you know, a lot of people are like, you know, I don't want you to do that. But they understand because they don't like to see their loved ones suffer either. And when someone is that sick, how much do you want to be selfish? You want to be so selfish to let them be miserable and die like that. You know, I always thought, when I can't take care of myself, when I can't wipe my own butt and I can't feed myself, I'm done. You know, it's everyone's right. I mean, like, okay, like I've always said, if I get cancer, I'm not treating it, because my dad got cancer and he treated it, and that made him sicker. He died in 4 months. He had cancer diagnosis and died 4 months later. And it depends on what kind of cancer, how bad it is, and stuff like that too. It does. But I think, I really believe that we should have the right to choose. We have the right to choose if we want an abortion. We have the right to choose if we want to change the sex that we were born with. We should have the right to choose when we die. If we are suffering, why would we want somebody in our family to suffer? Because we can either do it the legal way, or medically way, I should say, or somebody's going to do it their way. We have choices. And we should have the right to make those choices. If we want to be the opposite sex, or terminate a pregnancy. They even talked about people that did not want children, or people that were so mentally ill that they did not want to ever have children. They were scared that their children would turn out like them, or that they would kill their children. So they went to the doctor, and until they had reached a certain age, or had at least 3 children, doctors won't do it. But doctors are to do no harm. So, if these people that don't want children have children, and something happens to these children, what has that doctor done? He has caused harm. This has been in my opinion. I'm Sherry. I hope you subscribe. Click that bell to all. Give me a like and give me a comment. Let me know what you think about any of my videos, because this is all just in my opinion, and I would love to hear yours. Thank you guys. Good night.